With the alts pulling back, a bunch out there have been asking, bro, is alt season over? Well, I've got a few things to share with you that'll answer that question. We'll talk XRP price, floor support, and the Whitehouse crypto report that's coming out in a week. That's right, I bet a lot of you forgot about it. We'll also talk about Justin Sun and big whales dumping on ETH. Are they giving us the nod of future things to come? Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse has a fresh alert for the market in the long.
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Not just my crypto friends. We're seeing a little bit of floor action for XRP, and yet we're going to talk price action at the end. Ugh, I know it doesn't look good, but remember, everyone, we can't be green all the time, and we'll get into it. But before we get into that, you know the deal. You, the viewer, matter most. That's why I share your comments at the beginning of every video. Titan TM says, yo, thank you for bringing us the news. Well, thank you for the support, kind sir. I greatly appreciate it. Richard Padilla is hanging out, says, I hope your wife will understand if we ask you to stay on vacation for a green market. You just checked into your flight and look what happens. For real. I did. I checked into my flight and all of a sudden the market started taking a big dump. Maybe I should stay here. Honestly, this is a beautiful, beautiful place, but the wife would probably kill me. LRN says, yo, fall vacation fund. Y'all want me to leave already? I haven't even gotten home yet. Thank you for the support. Bitcoin sit at 118,725. ETH is 3617. Some big whales have been dumping ETH, and were they sending us a message? I got some data to share with you. XRP at 318, 315. Sorry, my bad. Well, Sol's at 188. 8 is clinging on to 81 cents, while Doge is clinging on to 23.9. Oh, that's right. A bunch of you have voted so far, and the majority of you saying, bro, stay away for the market. Go on vacation. That's right. I've got almost 500 of you voting right now with 61% of you say, yo, bro, do us a favor. Take one for the team. Are things getting too frothy for ETH, XRP, and other top altcoins? All right, let's start looking at things a little bit different because trust me, I understand. When you see big pullbacks of like 10, 12, 15% for some of your favorites out there, it can make you worry. But listen to some of the things I'm going to share with you. A myriad of users don't expect a quick rebound for Ethereum, giving ETH just a 20% chance of bouncing back above 4,000 by the end of July 25th. Yeah, I totally get that, okay? Now, here's the thing, though. That's the 25th of July. We've got a crypto report on July 30th. We've got the Clarity Act and the Senate Market Structure Bill all right around the bend, everyone. So is this the market taking a breather before it rockets again? ETH, however, is leading a list of daily liquidations showing how much traders were betting on the price of ETH to continue rising. More than 605 million worth of ETH positions have been wiped out over the last day. Is altcoin season over, just getting started? Well, check this out. All right. What I got up on the screen is the altcoin season index chart, okay? And as always, any article you see in this video will be linked in the description below. What do you notice, right? We've had a run up on altcoin season, and it's kind of pulled back down. Okay, I get it, but zoom out a little bit and check it out. The market has tons of fluctuations, but this is the first time we've seen a big pump up in the alts for a while. So the reality is, the alts were due for some gains. Think of BTC. BTC has been stealing the show price-wise, so it's time for the alts to pump. So the alts pumped. But yes, people are going to take profits. This is crypto. We've seen this plenty of times. Heck, I've been covering on this on YouTube alone for about 5 years, and I have seen this plenty of times. Every time we make a big run-up, what do, everyone? A lot of profit taking happens. What else do I got for you? Coin Market Cap 100 index chart. Now, this is the chart since December of 2023. What do you notice? That's right, an upward trend. So sometimes you got to zoom out a little bit. And I know, we pay a lot of attention to the daily movement of prices on here. And when you see the deep red on the screen, it's easy to freak out. But zoom out. Check this out. The altcoin market 100, right? The CMC, right? Which has got some BTC, ETH, all, you know the deal. I'll have it all linked down below so you can check it out. Was at $100, right? For the index. It is now at 240. And think, we had a big run up right here in November. Y'all remember that, right? And then what happened? There was a bunch of profit taking. And then all of a sudden, turn around in April, we start going back up again. So just zoom out to get that fresh perspective. The U.S. government still holds almost 200,000 BTC as Arkham clarifies the U.S. market disclosure. Well, I did that with you a few days ago. Remember I shared with you the government wallet and I said, yo, nothing to worry about because they still got the BTC in the wallet. Essentially, this article was 2 days late. I beat them to it. That's why you hit the notification bell and subscribe button so you don't miss out. Now, Justin Sun and some Ave whales have withdrawn 1.7 billion ETH from the market. So were they telling us what was up? And again, if you look at the bigs, this is what I got up on the screen, right? ETFs, you could tell a little bit of a downtrend here and then a negative trend for BTC on the 20th of July. So were the bigs telling us, yo, we got to go down on this action? And look, on the 21st, there was basically neutral action for ETH and negative action for BTC. So were the whales giving us a signal? According to reports, Mark Zell, an AVE contributor, said that he believed crypto billionaire Justin Sun was behind most of the ETH withdrawals. He said the Tron founder regularly moves large amounts of it in and out of lending protocols. Over the past week, a wallet-connected crypto exchange, ATX, has also taken out almost $500 million worth of ETH out of AVE. Oh, okay. So Justin Sun and other whales out there were what, everyone? We're taking some profit of Renos. And ETH, like we talked about, was a laggard, right? ETH was something that was like dead in the water, like what, a month ago? And then all of a sudden we start seeing it move. And then after it moves and gets the juicy profits, what happens? Yeah, you know the deal. Check it out. People sell it to put the money in their pockets because what's the phrase? No one ever went broke taking profits. Here's the 1 month chart for ETH. Look at this, okay? Look at this run up from ETH. $2,400 a month ago. And it got way, way on up there. 3,800 and change. So like I said, zoom out. Does that chart worry you? No, but if you zoom in too much, this one does. So were the whales giving us a little bit of information here that they were going to start selling the action off? Sure looks like it. Now, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse sounds the alarm over YouTube XRP scams. For real, I have seen this so often, and you've seen it too. Remember the Elon Musk ones? We've seen the Brad Garlinghouse ones. We've seen the Michael Saylor ones. YouTube can't seem to get their handle on that stuff. This is what Brad said. Like clockwork, with success in market rallies, scammers ramp up their attacks on the crypto community. Please be aware of the latest scam targeting the XRP family on YouTube and impersonating Ripple's official account. We will keep reporting these. Please do the same. I report them when I see them. You know what the sad thing is, though? Another one just pops right up right after. So even Brad is like, look, the crypto market's hot. Scammers are going to scam, and they're going to try to what? Take you out of your money. And he says, as always, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So no, please don't watch the AI Brad Garlinghouse. And I think y'all on this channel have a pretty good idea of what I'm talking about because we bring it up often. Now, the Whitehouse has a crypto report that July 30th, a week from today. What's at stake? Well, remember really early on in the Trump administration, they were like, yo, okay, in day 30, we're going to do this. Day 60, day 90, we're going to do this. Well, guess what? We've got one of those deadlines coming up. On July 23rd, hey, Garmin's telling me that that's today. I bring you breaking news while on vacation. July 23rd, Bo Hines, executive director of the President's Digital Asset Advisory Council, announced the long-awaited White House crypto policy report will be made public on July 30th. The document, spearheaded by Hines and tech entrepreneur David Sachs, culminates a 180-day review by the President's Working Group on Digital Assets, mandated by January's executive order. Remember, that was the 30, 60, 90, 180-day thing. The report is expected to outline strategies for maintaining U.S. leadership in digital finance, including proposals such as potential BTC reserves and expanded access to the Fed's payment system for blockchain firms. So now we're looking at this going, well, wait a minute. On July 30th, are we going to get a little bit of a nugget here in regards to the strategic reserve? Remember, XRP, Sol, ADA, ETH, and BTC were mentioned. So, in a week, we're going to be getting more information, everyone. Overall, in the crypto market, what are we noticing? Volume still way up there. $200 billion. Fear and greed, we're still at 70. Why are we so high on the fear and greed index? Because BTC has been maintaining its price action. Even though the alts are hardcore in the sell-off zone, BTC is still holding, and that's why you see fear and greed at 70. XRP price action, all right. That's the one day, right? Take a look at it. I know it's scary, but think about it. Zoom out. Look at this is the 1 year chart. Does that 1 year chart scare you? We've had bigger sell-offs than this not too long ago. Check this out right here. We had a move. December 31st, XRP was at $2.08. Not long after, 2 weeks after, XRP was up to $3.30. I'll say that again. We were at $2 and we went to $3.30. Then we went all the way back down to $2.32. We lost $1, right? So we lost way more than what we've lost now. Zoom out and look what happens. We broke those highs. Yeah, we created new recent highs. So again, I think this is all about market perspective, and it's all about shaking people out. And it's about taking profits, right? That's the big message that I've seen. And a bunch out there have written too in the comments. Bro, I sold at $3.50 and I made some juicy profits. I'll buy back in when it's $3. A lot of people do that. Now, granted, I know a bunch of you out there like to stack for long term, but there's some of you that hang out in the channel that love what? That love the juicy swing action. And when crypto has an insane ramp up like what we've seen here, it makes sense that players are going to take profits. Right now, XRP's volume is at $13.4 billion, so the exchanges are making money on players buying and selling. Now, in terms of a floor, this is what I'm looking at right here, okay? We had a real recent floor of right 335. Now we had the sell-off move. We have to see where we are because remember, Clarity Act, we've got the Whitehouse crypto report. That's all coming up here real soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look over the next few days to kind of see where these candlesticks line up, right? Where is all of a sudden that low candlestick where players start buying again, forcing it in on up. It's too soon right now to establish a floor because, like I said, the sell-off has just been happening this day. Here's the one-day chart for you. But we'll notice over the next few days what happens. Now, this weekend is going to be key because what happens on the weekend, everyone? Volume and interest goes down, and we know traditional finance likes to sell, right? You can't sell your stocks on the weekend, so what do you sell if you need some cash? Yeah, your crypto. So we're going to be paying attention and see what happens price-wise because this is going to be a key weekend. But again, I'm honestly not worried about this move because we've had such a strong run-up. And when you have a strong run-up, you're going to have a lot of people that get freaked out, a lot of people that get nervous, and they panic sell. Or they sell and they rotate into other assets that maybe haven't had the run-up just yet. So if you ever get freaked out, look at the trend. If that was one of the things in corporate that I remember, it was this phrase. The trend is your friend. And that one-year chart tells us what? We've had plenty of pumps and dumps over the last year, but just a year ago, we were hanging out at the 50, 60 cent mark, and now we're at $3. And remember that run-up that we had in December into January where we went to 330 and change? Well, guess what, everyone? We sold back off to sub $2 XRP several times, and now we're back up to 3. So I'm going to personally give it a few days to see where the floor gets established. As soon as I see a little bit more chart action, right, some maturity in the charts, some oomph in these charts prices recently, I will share that information with you. Now, we all do our own thing and we all have our own strategies. And for me, when it comes to crypto and stocks, right, I do two things. I've got my long-term bags, which I really don't touch until I hit specific price points. And I've got my short-term bags where I play the pumps and dumps all the time, right? But a lot of you out there do what? You do what fits you, and my job is to bring you the news so you can better understand what's happening right now. Now, those whales dumping ETH, look, it happens almost all the time. When ETH gets close to that $4,000 mark, what happens? Yeah, take a look at the charts. It's been happening over the last year several times now, and it just makes sense, right? You had all this hysteria with the Clarity Act, the Genius Act finally passing, Crypto Week, the anti-CBDC bill, and then what? Now we got a vacuum, and here's a big thing you have to think about. The House is on recess. Yeah, they announced that they're taking a vacation a day early. Wait, so when the House takes a vacation, the market dumps. When Klaus takes a vacation, the market pumps. Yeah, I knew the government fucks us all the time. But either way, think about it, right? That hysteria that, oh my gosh, this is nuts, so is wearing off. So now that it's wearing off, we're going to find that floor. And as soon as we get a little bit more price maturity, I'm going to share that floor action with you. What are we also going to expect from the White House's crypto report? Are we going to get an XRP mention about strategic reserves? We haven't heard shit since Trump's original tweet on Truth Social, so it'd be really cool to hear something about that. Now, the thing I'm going to pay attention to this weekend is volume and floor. All right. I'm also going to be looking to see what happens with ETH because we've known that ETH can pull the market as well. ETH can pull the alts as well, right? Think of ETH like the BTC of the alts, right? You know how BTC goes up 1%? And the crypto market only goes up like a little bit, or BTC goes down 1%, and the rest of the market goes a whole bunch. ETH is like that, but for the alts. And what did we see today with the whales? Yeah, they started moving and dumping ETH, right? And even the ETFs, what were they doing? They were selling off BTC. You could see the trend over those few days. That's why you need to have a whole bunch of data sources out there to paint the most accurate picture for what's going on with the market. And like I said, zoom out. We've dealt with this already. A few months ago, we dealt with pumps and dumps in crypto, and look where we are now. Recent all-time highs. Zoom out. The trend is your friend. Choo choo what? Choo choo bitches.